Let me speak one positive sentence over you today, and I hope your subconscious mind will receive it. Life is supporting you as you learn to speak to yourself with greater love. Take a slow breath and allow those words to rest within you. You do not have to force yourself to believe them perfectly. You do not need to create a dramatic emotion. Simply become willing to let this thought enter as a new possibility, because every sentence you repeatedly speak creates a direction for your attention, your emotions, and the choices that follow. Words are not merely sounds that disappear when the mouth becomes quiet. They leave impressions. When you tell yourself, "This is impossible," your body may tighten, your hope may contract, and your mind may stop looking for alternatives. When you say, "I am willing to see this differently," you do not pretend that the difficulty has vanished. You simply keep one door open. Through that opening, a new question, idea, conversation, or action may become visible. This is the practical magic of language. Your words are like a wand, not because every sentence produces an instant miracle, but because repeated language directs your life force toward a particular path. A person who repeatedly says, "There is nothing I can do," is less likely to recognize the small part they can influence. A person who says, "I will begin with what is available," gives the mind a task. One sentence closes the search, the other begins it. So listen to the phrases you use automatically. What do you say when you look in the mirror? What do you say when a plan changes, money feels uncertain, or another person disappoints you? What do you say about your age, body, abilities, relationships, and future? These ordinary sentences matter because they become the atmosphere in which your decisions are made. Ask yourself gently, where are my usual words leading my life? Do not use this question to judge yourself. Use it to become conscious. Your subconscious mind learns through familiarity. It notices the language you repeat, the images you revisit, the emotions you experience frequently, and the behaviors you reinforce. It is rather like an internal registration system. Whatever is entered often enough begins to feel normal, and what feels normal can quietly influence what you expect, tolerate, notice, and choose. If you repeatedly say, "I am clumsy," the mind may begin collecting every dropped object as evidence while ignoring all the things you handle well. "I have no luck in love" can turn a painful experience into a permanent identity. "I always fail" erases every occasion on which you learned, adapted, completed something, or showed courage. A temporary event becomes a definition, and then the definition influences future behavior. You are not the mistake you made. You are not the relationship that ended. You are not the opportunity that passed. Describe the event without turning it into your identity. Instead of saying, "I am a failure," try, "That attempt did not produce the result I wanted, and I am learning what to do next." Instead of, "I am hopeless with money," say, "I am learning to understand and manage money more wisely." Language that is both honest and open gives the subconscious somewhere new to go. Your new statement does not need to sound magnificent. In fact, a sentence your whole body rejects may create more inner argument than peace. Choose words that feel possible enough to receive. "I am willing" is often a beautiful beginning. "I am willing to trust myself." I am learning to feel safe. I am open to healthier opportunities. A clear, believable message, repeated patiently, is more useful than a grand affirmation spoken with hidden panic. Then support the words with behavior. If you affirm that your body deserves care, offer it rest, nourishment, movement, and appropriate medical support when needed. If you say your time is valuable, protect part of your schedule. If you declare that you are open to opportunity, learn, ask, apply, and become available to meet it. Action tells your subconscious, this is not merely a sentence. This is becoming a way of life. Take on a new responsibility today. Do not speak to yourself in a way you would never speak to someone you deeply love. You may still correct yourself. You may still admit that something needs to change, but guidance does not require humiliation. You can say, this behavior did not serve me. I choose differently now, without saying, I am terrible. Love makes room for responsibility while protecting the dignity of the person who is learning. You may have heard the phrase, the universe always says yes. I invite you to understand it not as a threat or as the idea that every passing thought creates an event. You do not need to fear your mind, and you are not to blame for every difficult circumstance. Think of life as a mirror that often amplifies the state from which you participate. Your repeated words become filters that influence what you notice and how you respond. If you continually say, my work is unbearable, your attention may become trained to register every irritation while overlooking information that could help you improve, negotiate, or leave. If you say, I am willing to find a healthier way to work, you begin looking for possibilities. The job may not change instantly, but your participation changes. You may recognize a boundary, develop a skill, ask for assistance, or notice an opening you previously dismissed. When you declare, I am never lucky, small opportunities may fail to register because they do not match your established story. A useful introduction, a modest beginning, or an unexpected idea may seem too ordinary to count. But when you say, I am learning to recognize good opportunities, your mind receives a new instruction. It begins observing more carefully. You still evaluate each opportunity wisely, but you no longer discard goodness merely because it arrives quietly. This is why it is helpful to stop repeating what you do not want to make permanent within your inner world. You may need to describe a problem, ask for help, or speak honestly about pain. That is healthy. But there is a difference between naming a situation and turning it into a lifelong prophecy. Say, I am experiencing financial pressure rather than I will always struggle. Say, I feel lonely tonight rather than no one will ever love me. Leave the future free to become something new. Complaining can bring a moment of release. Sometimes you need to tell the truth and feel heard. Yet if the same complaint is repeated without reflection or action, the problem can occupy the entire picture. The language of victimhood says, I have no choice. Everyone always treats me this way. Life has never supported me. These words place all power outside you. The language of self-leadership sounds different. It says, I may not see every option yet, but I am willing to look. It says, I cannot control another person, but I can decide what I continue to accept. It says, I can begin with the part that belongs to me. This language does not deny injustice, hardship, or another person's responsibility. It simply refuses to let the difficulty write the entire future. And remember that the emotional energy beneath your words matters. Two people may say, I am fine, while one is suppressing pain and the other is genuinely grounded. Do not use affirmations to cover feelings that need care. If I am completely peaceful feels untrue, say, I am learning to create one peaceful moment. Truthful relief is more nourishing than performed excitement. Choose a clear sentence. Slow your breathing. Let a simple image accompany it, perhaps seeing yourself respond calmly, speak honestly, or take the next useful step. Then welcome one authentic feeling: hope, relief, gratitude, trust, or freedom, even if it is very small. The body does not need a performance. It needs a message gentle enough to receive. Today, speak as though your words are giving your mind loving directions. Say, I am willing to see new possibilities. I choose language that supports my growth. I speak to myself with respect. Life and I are learning to work together. Your word becomes a command not because it controls every event, but because it continually teaches you where to look, how to respond, and who you are willing to become. Let us speak these words together. My words are becoming instruments of love, wisdom, and constructive change. Take a gentle breath and notice how this sentence feels inside you. We are not trying to force life to obey us. We are learning to use language consciously, so our words no longer scatter our energy in one direction while our choices attempt to move in another. A true command is not an anxious demand shouted at the universe. It is a clear inner direction that helps your thoughts, emotions, and behavior begin working together. Let us begin with prosperity and money, because this is an area where people often speak from fear without realizing it. You may casually say, money disappears as soon as I receive it. I am terrible with finances. Or, there is never enough. These sentences may describe how you have felt, but when repeated as permanent truths, they can keep you focused on helplessness. They may cause you to avoid looking at your accounts, postpone learning, or make decisions from immediate anxiety rather than thoughtful planning. You do not have to pretend that financial pressure is not real. If an expense must be reduced, a debt addressed, or professional guidance sought, honesty is part of prosperity. But honesty does not require hopelessness. You can say, I am facing a financial challenge, and I am learning how to respond with greater clarity. This statement acknowledges the present while leaving room for growth. Try saying, I am learning to manage money calmly. Notice that this sentence does not claim you already know everything. It gives you permission to become a student. Calmness may begin with opening a statement you have avoided, writing down your essential expenses, or asking a knowledgeable person a question. Each practical step teaches your nervous system that money can be approached rather than feared. Now say, I am open to healthy sources of income. Healthy income respects your values, your well-being, and the value you create. This affirmation does not mean you wait for money to appear while doing nothing. It means you stop assuming that one employer, one customer, or one method is the only possible source of support. You may discover a skill worth developing, a service people need, a better role, a fair negotiation, or a collaboration you had not considered. Say also, I use my resources with wisdom and appreciation. Prosperity is not only about receiving more, it includes developing the capacity to care for what you already have. Your income, time, knowledge, relationships, tools, and energy are resources. When you use them consciously, you become a safer place for greater responsibility and opportunity to arrive. Let your financial words become visible through behavior. Track your spending without shaming yourself. Let the numbers give you information rather than a verdict about your worth. Learn one skill that can increase the value you offer. Complete a task that supports your work. Respond to an appropriate opportunity instead of dismissing yourself before anyone else can consider you. Ask for fair compensation when you have created genuine value. If the old sentence says, I will never have enough, answer it gently. I am learning to create stability one wise choice at a time. If it says, people like me cannot prosper, reply, I am willing to discover what becomes possible when I learn, contribute, and receive. Your worth is not measured by your bank balance. Money is a resource, not a certificate of human value. You can desire greater prosperity without despising your present life, and you can appreciate what you have without refusing growth. Now let us speak to the body with the same respect. Many people speak about their bodies as though they are enemies. They look in the mirror and immediately name what is wrong. When discomfort appears, they may say, my body is betraying me, or I hate this part of myself. Yet the body is constantly communicating, adapting, protecting, and trying to maintain balance. Even when it needs care, it remains worthy of tenderness. Move from fighting your body to cooperating with it. Place a hand somewhere that feels comforting and say, I am learning to listen to my body. Listening may reveal a need for rest, movement, nourishment, medical attention, reduced strain, or a change in routine. Listening is not the same as becoming afraid of every sensation. It means responding with curiosity instead of immediate hostility. Say, I am grateful for everything my body is still doing for me. You may thank your lungs for breathing, your heart for continuing its rhythm, your hands for helping you create, or your legs for carrying you through the day. Gratitude does not require you to enjoy every physical experience. It broadens your view so that the body is not reduced to one symptom, limitation, or feature you wish were different. Then say, I allow myself to receive appropriate care. This may be one of the most loving affirmations you ever use. Receiving care can mean asking for help, arranging a medical assessment, following sound professional advice, taking prescribed treatment responsibly, or admitting that you cannot solve everything alone. Affirmations can support your emotional relationship with health, but they are not substitutes for medical evaluation or treatment. Loving your body includes using the real forms of support available to you. When the mind feels overwhelmed, you do not have to command it to become perfectly silent. Say, I can return to one calm breath. That is a believable instruction. Feel the air enter gently, and let the exhale become a little softer. Release your jaw, lower your shoulders. Notice the surface supporting you. You are not solving your whole life in one breath. You are giving your system one moment in which it does not have to accelerate. A peaceful sentence needs a peaceful form. Rest when rest is genuinely needed. Reduce unnecessary overload. Create transitions between demanding activities. Move away from a screen for a few minutes. Seek therapeutic or professional support when distress persists or interferes with daily life. Build a rhythm that helps your nervous system recognize steadiness. I choose peace becomes credible when you stop repeatedly placing yourself under avoidable pressure. You may say, my body and I are learning to work together. This is far kinder than demanding instant perfection. Some days cooperation may mean activity. On other days it may mean slowing down. Some moments call for self-care at home, while others require outside assistance. Love listens before deciding what care should look like. Now let us bring conscious language into love and relationships. Words can become bridges, but they can also become armor. When a need has been ignored for too long, you may say, you never listen, you do not care, or you always make everything about yourself. These sentences attack identity, so the other person is more likely to defend themselves than understand what you need. Try speaking about the experience instead of condemning the person. Say, I feel unheard when I am interrupted before I finish. This identifies a specific behavior. Then say, what I need is a few minutes to explain without interruption. Finally, offer a direction. I want us to find a better way to have these conversations. Clear language does not guarantee that another person will respond well, but it allows you to represent yourself with honesty and dignity. You can be gentle without becoming vague. You can be loving without hiding pain. I feel uncomfortable when plans repeatedly change without notice. I need greater consistency is both kind and clear. If the behavior continues, words may need to be followed by a boundary. You might decline future plans, end a disrespectful conversation, or reconsider the level of access someone has to your life. Communication expresses your standard. Action protects it. The way you speak about yourself in love matters just as much. Say, I am worthy of respect. Say, I do not need to abandon myself to keep another person. Say, I am open to mutual love. Let mutual mean that both people can speak, listen, give, receive, repair, and remain individuals. You do not need to become smaller to make a relationship last. Do not use affirmations as a method of controlling a specific person. Repeating, this person must call me, choose me, or change for me, keeps your peace attached to someone else's will. It turns spiritual language into another form of chasing. Instead, bless the qualities you desire. I welcome love that is honest, peaceful, consistent, and reciprocal. This leaves both you and the other person free. It also helps you recognize whether the actual relationship reflects what you say you value. You can bless someone without demanding that they become your answer. You might say, "I release you to your journey, and I remain faithful to my own well-being." You can wish another person healing while maintaining distance. You can forgive without restoring access. Your words are most loving when they honor freedom, truth, and responsibility, not when they attempt to manipulate an outcome. This leads us to a deeper spiritual law. Not every desire needs to be strengthened merely because it has appeared in the mind. Some desires arise from love and purpose. Others arise from fear, comparison, wounded pride, or the need to prove that we are valuable. The ego may say, "I must have this so everyone can see that I succeeded," or "this person must choose me so I can finally feel enough." If you affirm the external object while ignoring the wound beneath it, the practice may intensify your sense of lack. Before choosing an affirmation, ask, "Does this desire help me become more loving, honest, responsible, peaceful, and free?" Ask, "Am I moving toward something meaningful, or am I trying to escape the feeling that I am not enough?" A spiritual command is strongest when it is aligned with your deeper values. It does not merely decorate fear with positive words. Suppose you want professional success. The ego may want applause, superiority, or revenge against those who doubted you. Your deeper self may want meaningful contribution, creative expression, fair reward, and freedom to use your gifts. Instead of saying, "I must become more successful than everyone who rejected me," you can say, "I allow my abilities to serve life in meaningful and prosperous ways." This command creates room for both contribution and healthy reward. Suppose you want love. The ego may demand one particular person because being chosen seems like proof of worth. Your deeper self may desire companionship, honesty, tenderness, play, and emotional safety. Say, "I welcome a relationship in which love and self-respect grow together." This affirmation does not feed obsession. It prepares you to recognize what is genuinely nourishing. Suppose you want money. Fear may seek it as protection from every uncertainty or as a way to appear superior. Your wiser self may desire stability, generosity, choice, creation, and responsible stewardship. Say, "I welcome increasing prosperity, and I use it with wisdom, integrity, and gratitude." Your words now serve something larger than possession. The right words do not help only you. They influence the atmosphere you create around other people. A word of encouragement can return courage to someone who feels unseen. A sincere apology can interrupt a pattern of defensiveness. A clear boundary can stop resentment from spreading. A thoughtful question can make room for truth. When language serves love, it becomes a channel through which life, kindness, and hope move into the world. There are, however, 4 common traps to avoid when practicing affirmations. The first is using positive language to deny genuine emotion. If you are grieving, Repeating "I am happy" while refusing to acknowledge sorrow may make you feel divided from yourself. Healing begins with truth. You can say, "I am sad, and I am treating myself gently as I move through this." The feeling is honored, but it is not turned into a permanent identity. If you are frightened, you do not need to declare, "I have no fear." Try. Fear is present, and I can take one caring step. If you are angry, say, "My anger may be showing me that something needs attention." Then decide how to respond without harming yourself or another person. An affirmation should hold your hand through reality, not pull you away from it. The second trap is choosing a sentence too far beyond what you can presently receive. If you feel deeply insecure, "I possess absolute confidence in every situation," may activate immediate resistance. Use a bridge. "I am learning to trust myself in small ways." If prosperity feels distant, rather than forcing "I am endlessly wealthy," say, "I am becoming more capable of creating, managing, and receiving resources." A bridge does not weaken the affirmation. It makes the new direction accessible. The third trap is repeating words without taking action. You can affirm healthy relationships, but you must also communicate, observe behavior, and protect your boundaries. You can affirm prosperity, but you must still create value, develop skills, manage resources, and respond to suitable openings. You can affirm well-being, but love must appear in rest, care, and responsible decisions. The word points. Your feet still have to walk. The fourth trap is constantly checking for results. You speak an affirmation in the morning and spend the afternoon asking, "Why has nothing happened?" This turns the practice into another expression of absence. It is like giving your mind a new direction and then repeatedly calling it back to examine the old landscape. Let the statement guide your participation. Review progress at reasonable times. Make adjustments and allow change enough space to unfold. A command your subconscious can receive is usually simple. It holds one main idea rather than trying to change your entire life in one sentence. I am learning to trust myself. I welcome healthy prosperity. I choose calm communication. Simplicity gives the mind a clear direction. Make the sentence positive by focusing on what you are building. Rather than, "I do not want to be anxious," say, "I am creating more steadiness in my day." Instead of, "I will stop attracting bad relationships," say, "I choose relationships characterized by respect and reciprocity." This does not mean you may never use the word "not." It means the center of the command is the desired direction, not the feared experience. Make it believable enough to enter. I am becoming, I am learning, I am willing, and I now allow are beautiful bridges. They respect your current position while keeping movement possible. The goal is not to impress the universe with extravagant language. It is to offer your inner world a message it can begin to live. Allow the sentence to evoke a little authentic emotion. Relief is enough. Quiet hope is enough. A small sense of stability is enough. You do not need to manufacture excitement. Place your hand over your heart, slow your breath, and imagine one ordinary scene in which the new belief is being expressed. If your sentence is, "I communicate calmly," picture yourself pausing and speaking clearly. If it is, "I manage money wisely," imagine checking your finances without panic and making one thoughtful decision. Finally, give every command an action. Ask, what would this sentence look like before the end of today? If you affirm self-respect, the action may be saying no. If you affirm peace, it may be removing one unnecessary demand from your schedule. If you affirm professional growth, it may be completing a lesson or sending a proposal. Small actions make new language tangible. Let us create a simple morning ritual called Speak It Into Life. Begin by choosing only one area for the day: finances, health, love, work, or inner peace. Do not command 5 different transformations at once. Ask what most needs your conscious direction now. Write one sentence beginning with, "Today I choose," "I am willing," or "I now allow." You might write, "Today I choose to use my time with purpose," or "I am willing to receive support," or "I now allow calmness to guide my financial decisions." Read it slowly rather than repeating it as quickly as possible. Close your eyes for 1 minute and imagine a small scene that represents the sentence becoming real. See yourself completing the important task, preparing a healthy meal, speaking honestly, reviewing your spending, or resting without guilt. Enter the scene through your own eyes. Notice your breathing, posture, surroundings, and the quiet quality of the choice. Invite the body to feel a small amount of gratitude, steadiness, hope, or relief. If no emotion appears, do not judge the practice. Your willingness and attention still matter. Say, "It is safe to learn this new way gradually." Then identify one action you will complete before the day ends. Write it beside the affirmation so your word and behavior remain connected. Before you move into the day, speak your sentence one final time as a loving commitment rather than a desperate request. Today, I choose to treat my time as valuable, and I will complete my most meaningful task before I seek more distraction. Or, I am willing to cooperate with my body, and today I will arrange the care I have postponed. Or, I choose mutual love, and today I will communicate one need honestly. At night, ask not, "Did the universe deliver everything?" Ask, "How did I honor my word?" Perhaps you followed through completely. Perhaps you took only part of the step. Perhaps you discovered that the sentence needs adjustment. Respond with curiosity, not punishment. Tomorrow, you can choose again. Your subconscious learns not from perfection, but from the relationship you build through repetition, emotion, and consistent action. Now let us say together, "My words serve truth. My words serve love. My words serve the life I am consciously building. I do not use language to deny my feelings, control another person, or escape my responsibility. I speak clearly, I act wisely, and I remain open to outcomes that honor the highest good. Today, my word becomes a loving direction, and my life begins to follow it one honest choice at a time.